Alright, we've got us something to work on finally. It's Poulan Pro 25cc 22-inch hedge trimmer. I think it's seen a little bit better days. Actually looks like it's been sitting around for a while. It's all dusty, but haven't tried doing anything with it yet. Brought it home to check it out, and you can see the primer on the carb is gone. It's all busted. The fuel lines on the back are gone. And it looks complete other than the obvious, but the blades, get it turned around, you see them, pretty rusty. So if it runs, we'll definitely address that, get it cleaned up, probably hit it with a Dremel or something, get a little bit of an edge on it. But yes, we'll check it out. So I haven't messed with it at all. Besides, give it a good pull to see if it turn over, but it turns over. Feels like it's got compression, so let's see if we can take a look. Looks like there's, you guys probably can't see it there, but there's pieces of, so there's a good chance the fuel filter's down the tank. You can see pieces of line there. So take a quick peek and see what we got. Yeah. Well, the filter's in there, and it's a hot mess. Let's see if we can get it out of there. There's a filter. Seen better days. Kind of expecting that. I didn't even know for sure if I'd have one, but look out. Looks like the gas evaporated. If that's picking it up, looks like it's straight oil. So we have to flush that tank out. Flush it out before we put lines in it. First. Alright, so that's a touch better. Not perfect, but it's definitely a lot cleaner than what it was. I already ran the return line for the primer. Simple. It's always sure, but I always just cut them at an angle. You can get them started. Some 2-cycle or a little bit of oil usually helps. This one's going in pretty decent, so you just get them started. You can reach in. Sometimes use needle nose. I've always had good luck with these. These are curved. You can get them about anywhere. And lock on and draw her in. So this will be our main fuel line. So we'll get it down in there. Try to get it to where we think we got enough. Then you want to cut it once you think you got enough down in there. Which you want to reach the farthest back of the tank. You can kind of see I couldn't get down in there at that dark spot. There's a stain on the inside. I was trying to reach it, but I couldn't reach it. But a little bit more. There we go. Okay. So then that, you cut it straight off, and it's when you add your fuel filter, which I gotta find one. I don't want to use the old one, so let me find a fuel filter real quick. Hopefully we'll do that while we're at it. Alright, so we'll get it, just give her a good shove. You just want to make sure it goes up over that hump. Drop down the tank. This one's weighted too, so that makes it nice. It drops down in there. You want to give it a good look. So it's dropping. If I can get it, you can kind of see its shadow. It's like right here. So we're in far enough. So it gives us 2 new lines, new fuel filter. So before I throw it on, what I'm going to do is where the primer up here is blowed out, we're going to open it up. See if I can get some light in here for you guys. This is terrible. But so you got 2 screws One here, one here. It takes that steel ring off. And screwdriver. Is that Phillips or flathead? Let's try to find a flat or Phillips. There we go. So I'll pop that off because underneath it, once we get that off, that steel ring out of the way, you can access the top of your carb. And there should be a screen in there. And what you want to do, since you're this far, as long as those gaskets let go on us, we'll make sure that that screen's not all plugged up before we try to get it out there running and everything. So here's our screws. So here's our top, and so the gaskets, everything's still good and flexible. So once you get the two screws out, you should just be able to pop that loose. This one's obviously been on there for a minute. So, just get it in there, give it a little twist. Here's your steel ring. So, simple job to do. Just pop your old one off. This one's like fully blowed out, so you can see there. Coming out in chunks. I mean, it is like crazy brittle. They make 2 or 3 different sizes of these. And here's 2 of them here. So do is just match it up. So that one should work. It's about the same diameter around the bottom, so that one should work fine. And yep, fits right on. So, but like I was saying about the screen, if I can get you guys in here, you can see just a little bit. Here, focus. You can just barely make it out on the camera, but right here at the tip, there's just a little bit of well, dust now from setting, but see if we can get that to fall out. Good enough. Oh, excuse me. So get that little bit of dust out of there before we go throwing it back together. Trust me, it can do not necessarily damage, but it can create a real nice headache for you. So there's that. I do that rag. Wipe some of this off. We'll clean this thing up once it's up and running. So hopefully the carb's good. Get our little ring back on. So I'm saying it's just two screws. You don't have to. I prefer taking them down, get them both started before, instead of just like straight tightening one up. Just get them both started. Take them down kind of. I like taking them down kind of even, so I know it's a good seal on the primer. I've had them leak before, rushing. But so I learned you always take them down easy. It's best to do it all by hand instead of using a drill. Yeah, I figure that carburetor's aluminum, the screws are steel, so it's not a good combination. It's a good way to strip it out. There we go, good and tight. See if we can hear anything. Yep, so you can hear it working. If you have your doubts of, and a lot of people do, and that's why I always tell people the lines are actually on it and you're replacing everything. Take your phone or something, take a picture of it so you know which line's where and on the tank and and all that. But if it's like this one's case, it didn't have no lines on it. Let's see if we can see if this piece of line will fit it. You can always take, it doesn't fit very well, but put a piece of line on it and it's going to have to work. But you'll be able to tell the difference if you put your thumb over it. You can feel it pushing. And if you put it on this one, you should be able to feel it pulling. So it's sucking through this one. So that's your main fuel line. So it pulls in this one, and when you're priming it, so it's sucking it in the bottom, and it's blowing the excess out the top and back into the tank. So easy peasy, right? So let's get, where's our hammer at? Get our tank back on. Clean this up. It's actually be a decent looking hedge trimmer. It's like it's just been setting for a long time. But you know, majority of the stuff we come across, that's the ultimate case of it. Just sets and sets. You know, people have issues with them, and instead of addressing the issue, they set it to the side and buy a new one. That's how I end up with them. Alright, let's run her down. This is the same way. You do not want to over tighten this, especially as old as this one is. We flip it back over, I'll look and see how old it is. It's definitely an older model, but you know, plastic over time gets brittle. I mean, granted, these tabs are thick. Trust me, they will crack. Alright, so set her up, and let's see what we got. Dun, dun, dun. 2005. Man, this dude's 20 years old. It's got some years on it. Still pretty clean though for being 20 years old. So, alright, this little plastic tab right here. You guys can see it. If yours may not even have it, but that plastic tab is to support your fuel lines. That's what they'll do. Oh, if I can get this line up. They come out of your tank, run through there. Here's our other one. Ta-da! So now we got support. So now what you want to do is, if you're in this situation, you want to remember which one's which ours. The return is, on ours, is a small one. Our main fuel line, double check so I'm not gonna fool myself, but yeah, so the main fuel is the bigger one. So our main fuel, just pull it up where you think you need it. I prefer to cut just a hair extra, just in case I'm wrong. Alright, so that's our main fuel line going to the bottom outlet here, the bottom tube, and then our return line is at the top. Do it the same way. These ones where it's smaller, a little bit of 2-cycle would go a long way right here, helping you get it on. Alright, so there we go. Remember, your return line down here in the tank doesn't have to be crazy long. You only need about like an inch. Because all it does is when it pumps out, it just goes back down and just feeds it back in the tank. So we should be good. Alright, here we go. Moment of truth, I guess. It gas can open. Sprayed it down the blade, let it sit all night with some penetrating oil on it, since it was so rusty. I think it'll be fine. A little bit of fuel in there. Should be good enough for a little over half the tank. So if we get lucky, it starts. I had a new air filter, put a new air filter in it while I had it down there. Alright, so she primes up. Oh yeah. She's working on it. There you can kind of see it if it's picking it up. You can see where I was telling you guys about the return line. Comes out of the top, goes down, you can see the air bubbles. Looks like we're getting a steady stream. Alright, get her turned around. Back it out so you guys can see it. So hopefully this dude takes off. That's the plan. I'll give it a little bit more. Just Alright, so we got that, and a couple takes a spline tool for the carburetor. I don't know if we'll need it or not, but alright, so primed up, chokes on full. See if we get lucky. Oh, look at there. Alright, chokes all the way open. Come on, little fella. Oop. Fingers are slick. Let's choke her again. Definitely doesn't seem to be happy, but it's hard to tell how long this thing's been set. I guess patience is the key. It's not wanting to run on open choke. Yeah. So we get to excuse me, we get to run on half choke. Starts up. Yeah. So it's not happy. I'm sure it's a carb issue without a doubt. You know, the top of the screen's clean. So we got a new primer, clean the screen, new fuel lines, new fuel filter. It could just be where it's been setting for God knows how long. You got to remember this thing's 20 years old, so. Get it to run a little bit and let it idle. So I'll try that. I'm going to try to get it to where I'll bump the idle up on it and see if I can get to where to sit here and idle. It seems to like half choke, but let it idle for a while, see if it clears everything up. It's not doing too bad. It's cleared up some. My guess is it has a slight carb issue from setting for so long, but we can, so I can get the fire back up. It doesn't like to idle. Try hitting it. Actually trying to idle now, so it's clearing up a little, you know, each time I let it run. But it takes a spline tool for the high and low settings on it, and I got one. I can try it and see if it'll make a difference. I don't think it will. This thing's just so old. It has appears to have the OEM carb on it, so it's probably due for a rebuild. But I got 2 splines. This is a, that doesn't have a number on it, but try it, see if it fits. Too small. Try this one. I only have 3. Well, might be good enough to do it. It's a 7 spline. My other one I know is too small. It's just a tiny little dude. But we'll play with it and see if we can get something out of it. She's definitely not happy. High or low, it doesn't make a difference which one you adjust on it. We can do, I don't really have much out here to cut, well, with this, but we got a little branch up there. We can try to cut it. See if it's actually sharp. I'm sharp enough to cut that if I can get the fire back up. Hopefully I got the camera in the right spot.
That's thick.
That's a decent sized branch.
We'll
pick that up.
Yeah.
How thick that is?
Show it with your hand so you can see the.
Yeah, I mean, it's average size thumb, I guess. That's a decent sized branch. It cut right through it. So
yeah, that was.
You
get some of this down today.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Like I don't have enough other stuff to do. I think with a carburetor, this thing, or at least a rebuild kit, these things are pretty basic. You just got, I don't have a Phillips screwdriver out here. Take the Phillips screw out, take the cover off of the carburetor. Should be a nut and a bolt that goes in, and pop the carb right off, disassemble it, rebuild it, and put it back in, or buy a new one and throw on it. A new one for this is probably right around $20. That's for a complete carburetor, new fuel lines, spark plug, 2 fuel filters, and an air filter. That's probably through HIPAA. It should be around 20 bucks for a full assembly. That's on Amazon, and usually get them next day. But with some of the stuff going on nowadays, it might take a couple days. But that's it. It runs, it cuts. Definitely needs a tune-up. But for something that's 20 years old, it's been sitting for God knows how long. Can't complain. As I said, it's a Poulan Pro 25cc. Bless you. 25cc, 22-inch blade. It is a, what's that say on it? A 25 HHT. But I can't pick up the number there, but it's manufactured in 2005. See, that's pretty good for something that's 20 years old.
Yeah.
That thing cuts pretty good.
Did you sharpen the blades? Or
No,
wow.
It didn't sharpen nothing. That's what I was saying. All I done was used Generally, when you get these, before you use them, you lubricate the blade. Even if it's just get you one of these little oil cans. You know, hit it with some just basic motor oil. That's all I ever use is like 10W30, 530, wherever you have laying around. Just go through, lube your blade up. This one is used, since it was set in this just basic spray lubricant, Dollar Tree, $1.25. Soaked it last night and then soaked it again before I fired it up. It seemed to work. You can see how on the blade how long this thing was setting, and you can see the rust where it needs cleaned up. But I'm surprised it's not dull as crap. But I ain't complaining for what we got it for. That's dirt cheap.
Was it $15?
Yeah, it's like 15 bucks, and then these still retail if you roll the new version of this. This one's 20 years old, but the new one of this model is $200 to $250 depending on where you buy it at. So not bad. I'll take it as a win. We'll do the carburetor issue at another time. We got a lot to do today, so thanks for watching.